Old heads are praising God right now. The NBA is no longer soft. The NBA foul baiting rule has allowed faster games, more aggressive play, and of course, less free throws. In fact, many people like Rusty Buckets have pointed out the lowest average free throw attempts ever in NBA history. But I want to talk about something else. With less calls, the league finally cares about a key sport component again: defense. For several years, we've been seeing a shift in the NBA that many, including myself, have commented on. This shift to a more offensive game than defensive game. However, now with less foul calls and more aggressive play, defense is finally a key factor in winning games. Don't believe me? Watch any game this season. With new foul baiting rules, players this season are more likely to contest shots and swat for steals. Still don't believe me? Maybe you're more convinced by statistics. With teams having only played 5 games so far, the 2021 to 2022 season has seen the most steals per game since 1998. For reference, that's 4 years before I was born, 1 year before MJ retired, and 5 years before LeBron was even drafted. This season also averages 5.1 blocks. The last time the league averaged that many blocks was 2000, meaning somebody who was born the last time the league averaged more than 5.1 blocks per game can now purchase alcohol in the US. But what does all of this mean? Well, we always heard the phrase defense wins championships. San Antonio Spurs, MJ, Bill Russell Celtics. Well, that was the case until it wasn't. As the league started to get more quote-unquote soft, as people put it, more free throws, more foul calls, more stops of play, less defense. This led to the shift we saw earlier in which teams were scared of fouling out, and it became a game of who scores the fastest, with the top 16 years in three-point attempts being the last 16 years straight. That's one of the reasons the Nets are so great right now. You can't trade baskets with Brooklyn. You just can't. But with this shift, the players to watch are the big men, the players getting blocks and rebounds. Their impact is only going to grow. And the award to watch is Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis, who just won Defensive Player of the Year in 2020, just won a championship. Kawhi has already won 2 Defensive Player of the Years. But there's 3 teams which I think this may impact the most: the Philadelphia 76ers, the Utah Jazz, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I won't get too much into the Ben Simmons situation, but if you want a video on it, a friend of the channel and someone who's been on the podcast multiple times, CJ Hoop Talks, does have a video on it, which is attached in the card above on YouTube, and will also be in the description on Spotify. However, one thing that Ben Simmons has been commended on is his defense. Averaging about 2 steals and 1 block a game, Ben Simmons could disrupt a team as much as he couldn't shoot. Without Simmons, it'll be interesting to see how the 76ers do this season, especially after losing the other night 112-99 to the Knicks without Simmons. Now for the Timberwolves and the Jazz, with the increased importance of defense, either of these teams could be a dark horse. At the time of recording this video, the Timberwolves are top in both steals and blocks. Also, the Jazz have Rudy Gobert with 3 Defensive Player of the Years and averaging 2.3 blocks a game. The Jazz were already top of their conference last year, but were knocked out very quickly in the playoffs. Also, the Chicago Bulls are currently 4-0, with many commenting on the fact that this is the first time it's happened since 1996. With this roster, the Bulls are also 4th in steals and 7th in blocks. However, they are dead last in rebounds. The last time Chicago Bulls were top 10 in blocks was 2015. If the Chicago Bulls can improve on winning the rebound battle, they could very easily go very deep in the playoffs this season. Defense is finally back in the NBA, and it'll be exciting to see how the league evolves with these new foul rules. Will defense win a championship again this year? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.